Tell me about raising boys, Grandma. Tell me about raising boys. I know you cried a lot. I've heard you say that if you weren't crying by breakfast, it wasn't a normal day. How'd you survive raising all these boys?
I didn't raise them. I just drug them through life.
Which one was the toughest to raise? Is that a good question or is that a bad one? Steve?
Without a doubt.
I thought I was a marvel child. I really did.
And he kept running away.
Kept running away.
I shouldn't have said
He was barely able to walk, and he'd climb the fence, go down the creek to what we called the big ditch. And I'd find him, he'd be walking back. Where he'd be
How old was he?
about 3.
Steve?
always came back. Unfortunately. Unfortunately.
Spoken like a good brother.
I went to the ditch. I'm just always feel good about it when we do it. And I'm so glad that all of you all think it's important too.
This house, was I even
Were you a baby
five?
at
I
this
must have been
point?
too little.
Well, we came in for Christmas one time, and remember we had to leave the car out at the Kirbys and walk up
Out
here,
where
up
the
this way.
cemetery
Yeah,
is,
and where the
where
next
we're
cemetery we're going. And
And
I
walking.
wandered around. This must have been probably prior to 55. When did they move out on the highway?
Claire, I don't remember.
Well, I think probably I was maybe 4 or 5 when they were here, so you'd have been 6 or 7. I don't think so. I would have thought they moved out there before 1950.
Well, I know I quit going down here probably in 57 when I started high school.
There's a picture of you standing at, I think, at the other house. Daryl and Dad and you, and I think it was at the other house. With no, it may have been this house because you were shooting down the hill from
Yeah.
the front. I think it was this house.
Yeah. Yes, it was this house because it was just nothing. There was a little bit of meadow and then nothing but trees, and we were sitting out here. The house was right behind these 4 trees, and we'd walk across the road and shoot down the hill.
I think Dad was sitting on the
car.
running board of the car.
Yeah.
Running board
So
of the
right
car.
in front of the house.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So that was this house. So you can look at that picture and guess your age. But I would have thought you'd been 8, 9, 10.
Could be.
They moved from Boys here.
Okay.
This was where my grandparents lived, the ones we saw there.
Samantha and Mont?
Yeah, it was Smokehouse Sister and this is all here. And somebody, I understand, somebody from Bowling Green bought all this and bulldozed it down.
Get out.
That was here.
This and I think this is the place where there's a tire swing. This is where the cistern was.
Yes.
Now I know that there was a white rooster here that chased me when I was probably 3 or 4 or something.
One time, your dad had brought us down and left us, and he hadn't been gone 2 hours till you disappeared. And I was frantic.
I'm sensing a theme here.
I
Steve was always disappearing.
I always thought he'd fall in the cistern, even though he was. So he'd gone everywhere. And finally, we saw you coming up the road. You'd been walking.
There were things to see.
He was always wandering. He just did.
All right, now
But he always came back, yes. But he
like a bad penny.
Like a bad penny.
wandered. And I can still see him. He must have been about 7 or 8.
All right.
Walking up this
Now,
road.
can you describe to Sharon the arrangement of the house?
It at one time had been a log cabin. And they had added on to it. And there was a big porch on this side, a big porch on the other
The
side.
enclosed porch on the other side. Didn't it have screens on
Yeah,
it?
it was
Because
screened
I remember
her
us.
flower garden.
Yeah.
And he used to plow out her flower garden. She had that much. She couldn't keep it hold out.
And I remember on this side of the house over here, but the bedrooms were back there.
There
and
was
there
a
was a door
smokehouse.
going out onto that veranda.
Yeah.
And wasn't it an L-shaped veranda, or was it just one straight shot?
There was the L shaped on the other side of the house.
On this side, over
Yeah.
over to your, to the front of the car. And then there was just a straight veranda down, ran behind the kitchen, didn't it? But you couldn't get into the kitchen from that, could?
Well, I remember sitting in a screened-in area to eat.
Yeah.
That what we didn't eat in the house. We ate on because I guess there were too many of us. But I thought that connected to the kitchen, so I'm not sure.
It was an L-shaped screened-in porch.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was L-shaped.
Yeah.
But the log cabin was covered with a shingle, like a roofing shingle.
Those brown roofing
Yeah,
shingles,
right.
yeah. hmm And then on this side, right out here, there was a porch, and then the cisterns sort of sit out in the center.
It was between the porch and the smokehouse.
And then, and the smoke, it sort of formed a U, didn't it? And the chicken house was across on the other side of the cistern.
Yeah.
And then there was some kind of shed down here. And then there was a big field that went down that way.
Now there are some pictures. Unfortunately, there's not a picture just of the house.
Yeah.
There's a picture of the cistern. There's a picture of you pulling a bucket out of the cistern, I think.
Used to bake about 7 cakes for Christmas. And in March, when you came to visit, she would still be getting those cakes out of these big lard buckets.
Were they still
Out of-
edible?
She kept them.
How come they didn't mold?
Yeah, that's what I'm
rot?
wondering.
She kept them out on the porch, where it was
In the
always
winter.
cold.
Okay.
So they were still safe to eat.
I reckon
Y'all enjoyed them, huh?
Nobody died.
she always made one with a yellow layer, a white layer, and a chocolate layer. I just remember
Now,
Potatoes, and the first hill that I dug into, I speared a potato, and that that didn't go because they needed every potato, so I never got to try a second time. He
were
didn't
out.
tell me dig deeper or whatever. He said that's enough.
That was the end of it.
You-
Samantha and Mont lived here. All right, this was their house. Then where did Hubert and Mama Jew live?
they ended up, after his mother died, they moved here.
Okay, so then they lived here too.
They
so
left.
this was,
They left the boy. They sold the boys' farm after Mom had graduated from high school and gone to Louisville. They sold that farm,
And then they moved here.
And moved here.
I got you. Okay,
So I guess he had to buy this from his brothers.
Yeah.
got you. Okay.
And the same thing with the other house. Mama Jew had to buy that from her brothers.
Right. Gotcha.
We've got a picture of you standing behind Steve and me fishing for catfish in the pond. So you
Right.
were here.
We'll have to find that picture because I'd like to see that.
Steve, we caught so many catfish in a barrel. I have no idea why that was fun, but they actually had a .22 rifle and were shooting the fish in the barrel of water.
I wonder if I can
I
post
don't
that.
remember that.
That sounds
That's funny.
too much.
I wonder.
All right, the way my brain's working, this was your grandparents' house, so you had come to visit. There was probably plumbing not inside.
No,
there would be
no.
outhouses, right?
Just
No,
an outhouse.
no plumbing,
Outhouses,
no
No
electricity.
electricity.
We
So you'd go down to the spring to get water.
No, they had a cistern.
You had a cistern. Okay, you
Yeah.
had a cistern to get water.
and the radio was run off a car battery.
The radio.
They did have a radio. They didn't get TV until they moved out on the highway.
They used to watch wrestling. I remember
Used
that.
to watch wrestling on
After my grandfather
followed by the Grand Ole
died,
Opry.
I used to come over here and stay 3 and 4 weeks at a time with Grandma Pearson.
So were you an adult at that point?
Yeah, well,
High school.
High school at that
yeah,
point. Okay.
12, 13.
You stayed at the boys' house until you graduated from high school, and that's when you went to Louisville.
Yeah.
And then shortly thereafter that, they moved over here.
Yeah,
Okay, so you never actually lived
No.
in this house.
Robbie did.
Robbie did. Oh, and
Daryl
Daryl
did.
did. Yeah.
Robbie said she was 14 when they moved here.
Okay.
So I was about 19.
Okay, so
18.
that would have been about 39. Okay, so they
And
moved
so you were born in 47, 44?
44.
42.
42. Okay.
So they moved over here in 39. So I
That's
was
the
pro-
year
I-
we got married. 39.
you got married in 39. Okay.
See, we've got a picture of Dad and Daryl was a kid, and
Got
Robert and Grandpa at the boys' house,
Okay.
and Judy had just been born, so they were standing there. Mama Jew and Robbie were standing there holding Judy, and so we've got pictures of the boys' house, the boys'
Okay.
farm.
I was
Remind
just looking.
me
I was